FightSaga.com and Halftime Pizza proudly present WAWR Week Radio Chats with ring announcer and commentator Joseph Heron.
Guys, welcome. Happy Thursday to all of you guys. And, well, look, guys, I apologize for us not convening on Tuesday evening, but once again, Coach Ronnie wasn't able to make it, but he assured me that he will be here next Tuesday to greet all of you, along with my co-host, the professional, the beat writer, the all-around great guy, the expert, J.R. Bell from the Boxing Source. J.R., how you doing, brother?
Good evening there, Joe. Here for another episode of WAWR Week Chats. What's going on?
Oh, I tell you what, brother. I'm sure you've read the headline to our show.
Yep.
We're going to talk all about it, guys, but is there reason to be concerned? If you're Steven Espinoza, predominantly Steven Espinoza. Guys, understanding the business of things, he's the one on the hook for this. Now, only being entitled to 10% of the pay-per-view revenue stream, he's on the hook for $20 million rock in guaranteeing this expensive main event between Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford, which is slated to take place on July 29th. James?
Mm-hmm.
Very quickly, now I don't want you to go knee deep into this just yet, but is there reason for Steven Espinoza, as well as most fans, to be worried about the lack of buzz surrounding this event?
Well, Steven Espinoza is definitely concerned with the lack of buzz, or so to speak. But I guess what is it, mainstream or whatever it is, because of how much that he's put into this. Of course, your great followers of the WAWR Week Radio Network know about what it took for this fight to take place and how difficult it was for this fight to take place. And now it's about, okay, we did this for the fans and we did this for the fighters. But hey, as a business, we still gotta make money, man.
No
money. So it's like he's kind of like gnawing at his teeth in a figurative ways or whatnot. But he's hopeful, and I'll expound on that here as this show goes along, as far as maybe there's some positive light going into this, so to speak. But we'll break it down here.
And there it is, guys. We've got a lot to cover. And on Monday night, I was joined by my very dear friend, the incomparable G Funky Boxing. Guys, already, please go subscribe to my brother G Funky Boxing. He did a brilliant job. Once again, helped me out when I was a little under the weather. I'm just getting over bronchitis right now. So, he did a brilliant job co-hosting Real Talk with Rick Glazier. And he had a lot to say about the upcoming event. And James, being the professional that you are, I would like to get your opinion, your unbiased opinion of Rick Glazier's tweets. And once again, here he is, my brother G Funky Boxing. Welcome to the show, my friend. And I tell you what, I was on his channel last night. We were talking about the upcoming event as well. Guys, if you haven't already listened to it, go check it out at the end of the broadcast. But I will say this. I'm really interested to hear your thoughts about the always outspoken Rick Glazier's opinions. And I think this is kind of a fun segment of tonight's show. Are you ready, brother?
Yes, I am.
Teddy, please do the honors.
Maybe, just maybe, it's time for Rick Glazier's Twitter watch. Bang!
Oh, and there it is. Thank you, Mr. Atlas. We appreciate it. No corruption here, brother. And so, first one, Twitter Watch, Rick Blazer Twitter Watch. This tweet was delivered and published at 5:52 a.m., July 17th, 2023. He says this, quote, boxing enthusiasts, 1 week from today starts Spence Crawford Fight Week in Vegas. That's all you need to know. So far, there's been no hype except Showtime's All Access, where you clearly see that it's all about Errol Spence Jr., like Crawford, some kind of flunky. Showtime and Steven Espinosa should be ashamed. End quote. I didn't have to wait. Big James, your thoughts as the laugh didn't say enough.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Listen, these 2 episodes of All Access, as I've kind of like previewed on my channel, they have been great in featuring both of these fighters and how they've been as fighters and as men, and they've had equal time. Whether you go to Dallas, Texas, or Omaha, Nebraska on both episodes, and you really get both sides of how like I said, how Errol Spence Jr. is viewed in the city of Dallas, and how Terrence Crawford is viewed in the city of Omaha, and also how they are involved with their families and especially with their children. And then, particularly in the second episode, they, went into their camps, their respective camps, where you pretty much get, stuff from Coach Derek James. You seen a little bit from, when Frank Martin was preparing for his bout against Artem Haratunian. You got, commentary from Anthony Joshua as he, prepares for his bout against Dylan White. And then on the flip side, you go to Colorado Springs and you see, Terrence Crawford there with Coach Bomac, Coach Red Spikes, and also with Steven Nelson, who's going to be part of that fight card as well. So you definitely had both these, guys featured in a great way and in an equal way. So that comment by Rick Glazer is absolutely hilarious.
Well, what I want to know is, James, are you surprised?
Surprised by what specifically?
Rick Glazer's position on this subject. Look, guys, and once again, this has been our criticism the entire time. Think about this. Last May, when we were covering the negotiations, okay, and I got direct word that, Crawford, for lack of a better term, let's give me the abridged version, right? Sum it up in one phrase. Terrence was being an ignorant pain in the ass who didn't have quality experience representation. So understanding that Crawford is coming from, receiving those top-rank inflated purses that were well above his market value. Once again, that takes nothing away from what he's accomplished in the ring, but that does nothing. What you do in the ring does nothing to determine your market value in this business. And so he comes into the negotiations demanding all kinds of A-side bullshit. Right? This is what you get. This is what you get. Keep in mind, okay, the only reason Rick Glazer, and I truly believe this, the only reason why my brother Rick has taken exception to this is because Spence, in both All Access episodes, he has been featured first. Just like he's going to be announced first. Just like he's going to walk out to the ring last. Right? Just like he's going to be announced last, I mean. He's the A-side in this. And why? He is the promoter's fighter. Terrence Crawford had the option of giving Al Heyman and PBC options on his next 3 fights. He didn't want to do that. He wants to remain a free agent. So guess what? this is what you get, brother.
Yeah.
This is what you get. If you want to remain a free agent and you don't want to get an option, give options to the promoter on your next several fights, and you still want that big guarantee, well, this is what you get. This is life in the big city, brother. James, do you have anything to add to that? Am I wrong about anything that I said?
Well, of course, in the pressures that they had in Los Angeles and New York, particularly in New York, you did have Errol Spence say, listen, I was the one that made the concessions for this and that. And he also expounded on it in the All Access episodes that, like, he said, hey, you know, even with the stuff as far as like who walks out first and last and who gets announced, so it's like, you know, they had a coin flip for that. So he was like, man, it has been, as I say, difficult. And, you know, given what the guaranteed purses are and how things work for Terrence Crawford and how they have worked for Terrence Crawford, that's what makes this fight, as I've been saying, difficult in a sense for it to kind of like have the projection to be successful. But I have some hope given the numbers for these, these all access episodes. Not just counting Premier Boxing Champions posting it, but directly from Showtime Sports. Both episodes, as of right now, have over 1.4 million views each. So that kind of like has me a little bit hopeful as to, you know, how interested fans are, whether they're hardcore fans or not, how interested they are in this particular fight.
Well, once again, interest has never, from the diehard fan base, that's never been a question.
Right.
The big question is whether they're going to put their money where their mouth is. Okay, It's time to put up or shut up. Because I can tell you with great certainty, someone from Showtime Sports is getting quite anxious and is actually quite nervous about the outcome financially on this event. Keep in mind, guys, when you're a guy like Bob Arum or Eddie Hearn, or let's be honest, let's be frank here, the real promoters, the networks, the guys who pay for these expensive main events, you've got to determine whether or not the juice is worth the squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
And for the kind of squeeze that Terrence Crawford put on everyone involved, is it going to be worth it?
Oh, no.
That remains to be seen, brother. Woo! But I tell you what, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But once again, guys, you are the real bosses of boxing. You guys have the power to determine everything. Okay? In one fell swoop, you guys have the power to determine everything by pressing that damn button and forking over $80 of your hard-earned cash.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you quite certainly, right? And I'm not just speaking respectively. Everyone can associate with this, can relate to this. We've all spent $80 on much worse, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, coming from the gentleman who just, spent a ton of cash in Chi-Town. Woo! The Chi-Town hustler. Big James.
I can't say, in a way, I did spend a little bit inside town, but the thing about it is, when you work for a certain agency, you get pretty much most of that back. So, hey, I don't mind it.
Well, I tell you what, Stephen Espinosa doesn't have that luxury, my friend. So, yeah. So, I tell you what, we've got so much to discuss. And we've got, in the immortal words of Jerry Reed of Smokey and the Bandit fame, we've got a long way to go and a short time to get here. So, let's move on to Rick Glazier tweet number 2.
Maybe, just maybe, it's time for Rick Glazier's Twitter watch. Bang!
Bang!
Yeah! Corruption! I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. Okay. So number 2, Rick Laser Twitter Watch. Are you ready, Big James?
All right, I'm ready.
Oh, you say that with such enthusiasm. All right, if I have to. And this was tweeted as a response to Donito Donaides' article and opinion of Stephen Fulton versus Naoya Inoue. He says this on Boxing Scene. Donaire says this, quote, I have to give a slight edge to Fulton. Inoue has never fought anyone like Stephen Fulton, end quote. So Rick Glazer had this to say about it at 2:42 p.m. yesterday, July 19th. Quote, yeah, and Fulton has definitely not fought anyone like Inoue. There's a great reason why Inoue is called the monster, as Fulton will certainly find out. Hashtag ESPN Plus, hashtag boxing, end quote. James? Who are you going to listen to right now? Do you think Nonito Donaire, the great champion that he is, the all-time great and the future Hall of Famer, do you think he's just kind of leaning towards Fulton because, well, he got his ass whooped in his last fight, kind of sour grapes, and he's kind of hoping Stephen Fulton pulls off the upset? Or do you genuinely think Rick Glazer's going to eat his words and Stephen Fulton is the badass that we hope he is next Tuesday?
I think well, in this particular case with Rick Glazer's tweet, I think both sides have a little bit of a point. Nonito Donaire, like he said, Inoue has not faced anyone like Stephen Fulton. Yes, that is true. But on the flip side, Stephen Fulton has not faced anyone like Naoya Inoue. And as we've talked about, just a few minutes ago, this is a very, very, very great fight between two great fighters, and that we are going to expect an awesome encounter between these two. Okay, and that the winner will be, as I said, it'll end up being in the top 2 in the Boxing Source pound for pound rankings. So I'm just overall excited about the bout, and I'm not going to what I would say kind of diminish either fighter ahead of this bout.
Oh boy, I tell you what, man. Look. I love Nonito's eye, right? He knows he's a fighter through and through.
Right.
In fact, he's training fighters now. Yes. He's at the age where he's got a lot to offer this younger generation of blooming fighters. Mm-hmm. And he is that intelligent. He's that gifted, right? He's got that eye. He understands that Stephen Fulton's not going to fall into the specific traps that I did, right? I've got too much dogging. Stephen Fulton has shown that in the past against lesser opponents like Brandon Figueroa. No disrespect to Brandon. He's a great guy, excellent fighter, but he's not Naoya Inoue. Do you see Stephen Fulton falling into that same trap and electing to sit in the pocket and slug it out with Naoya Inoue next Tuesday?
No, that would be Inoue's strength, is to be able to be up close to Stephen Fulton, and as I've said, Naoya Inoue is one of the best punchers in the sport of boxing, one of probably the second hardest punchers in the sport of boxing. And with Fulton having the reach advantage, I wouldn't give Inoue that opportunity to dig in and get in some work on your body and upstairs too. So yeah, I wouldn't have Fulton having that same type of strategy as he had against Brandon Figueroa.
And there it is. And there it is, brother. You survived the Rick Laser Twitter watch. How do you like that, brother?
Nope.
I'm going to say something puro Mexicano. It's going to go over your head, James, but I'm going to say it anyway. Mas puto Rick. Come on, brother. Mas puto chingao. Oh, he's getting my inner beaner coming out, brother. Oh, I love being Mexicano, man. Woo! I tell you what, man. God bless America, brother. God bless America. But here, are you ready though? We've got the next segment coming up, man. Just for you. Are you ready? The honors, Floyd.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
Yeah, we ain't ducking or dodging nobody.
Woo! Number one, fact or fiction, Big James. It pains me to even say this. Joseph, why would you put this on fact or fiction? Well, here we go. Fact or fiction, Big James. Jake Paul being on the cover of Sports Illustrated is further proof that Paul Diaz will double Spence Crawford's pay-per-view purchases. Fact or fiction?
Oh, that goes with a previous fact or fiction from a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and once again, to every boxing diehard, that should be a swift kick in the nuts, a low blow, brother. You guys should take great offense to that, right? Because I took it that way. Think about this.
If I say
you've got the greatest fight in boxing since Pacquiao Mayweather by far, right? And then Jake Paul's on the cover the same month that Spence Crawford is happening.
Listen.
Jake Paul.
Yeah. That says a lot right there. And Sports Illustrated doing that, makes me feel like it would double the amount of pay-per-view buys, and I really hope it doesn't. But if it does, I mean it. Because what my hope is for Spence Crawford is for it to be at least 500,000 pay-per-view buys or more, at least. But given what we know about the purses, 500K ain't gonna cut it. No way it won't.
No.
No way, no how.
No. Oh, jeez. Well, look. I will say this. There's a reason why there isn't greater promotion for this event. Because they have no confidence in the boxing diehards. Guys, you have to understand how your decision affects everything being the real bosses of boxing. And if the networks, the promoters, have no confidence that you're going to purchase this event, well, then they're not going to spend more money into an already bleak investment. I'll tell you where the red flag started, right? In my mind. And James, please shed some light on this because you've been covering these events for a decade, right?
Yeah.
These big time events. You go to pretty much all of them. Okay? How many mainstream media outlets did you see at the media? So once again, you get all these boxing outlets, these diehard boxing outlets, Fight Hype, Fight Hub TV. You see all Ring TV. You see all of them there. And they're saying, oh, Terrence Crawford looks sharp. Oh, Spence looks great. What aren't they saying, though? How many mainstream media outlets were not there? They weren't covering the media workouts. Guys, when I saw that, I was, dude, the house is on fire now. Guys, we don't have to wait till fight week.
And
there's no buzz on this fight for a reason. James, expound, please, sir.
It kind of bothers me a bit because they've had like some efforts to try to market this particular fight, get these fighters in specific particularly in the, as they say, the urban market. that, would try to garner, overall interest. So that's why I said earlier that I felt like I was hopeful with the amount of views that the All Access got for both episodes. When you have, Terrence Crawford on, what is it, the Jillian, whatever show, and you have Errol Spence on with the Pivot podcast and that type of thing. That's their effort to try to, as you said, if you have someone like a Sports Illustrated putting Jake Paul on the cover, when you have Ring Magazine months earlier talking about, why are these fights happening and that fight happening? When you don't have something like a TMZ Sports maybe, or a major outlet like ABC or CBS or something that kind of like would put these guys in a position for more eyes to see them, that's something,
Yeah.
And that's why, and I'll add this too. That is why timing is everything when it comes to certain fights.
Yep.
And this kind of like goes into not just with this Fact or Fiction, but with this fight in general. And why I was really upset about them not having a fight when they were supposed to have the fight in November of last year. Because they had all the elements that you really needed in order to properly push both fighters in order for enough eyes to see them before their upcoming fight. Here, now you're at the middle of the summer. You really don't have that many opportunities to get them out there for the quote-unquote general public to see them. Now this is what you're going to have to end up with. So, yes, Steven Espinoza is, gnawing, biting his nails, so to speak, or whatever it is, to see if this fight is going to be very successful. But like I said, with the projected numbers that I feel like it's going to be, I say that with the popularity that Jake Paul has overall and Nate Diaz has in the MMA scene, they're going to get more numbers.
Oh my gosh. That's honestly, that hurts my heart, brother. But it's the absolute truth. And once again, to fans who aren't beat writers and don't cover these events, respectively, you were at Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia.
Yes.
How difficult was it to get a one-on-one interview with any of the major players during that event because of the mass mainstream media coverage?
Listen, I give props to any of the boxing outlets that were able to get in touch with either Ryan Garcia or Gervonta Davis. But when you have the social media people, like what was it, Kai Snob that was with Tank Davis and all of those other people, and then a couple of other media outlets, it was very difficult on Thursday. Friday for the weigh-in, I made the bad decision of being on the floor for instead of at a photo spot. But that whole scene was crazy. Okay, that whole scene was crazy. This week coming up, I'm hopeful that it's at least around halfway or so as it was for Tank versus Ryan. And I haven't even mentioned anything about ticket sales yet.
Oh my gosh. You know what, dude? This has catastrophe written all over it. And once again, Terrence Crawford, he thought in his brain, right, go leading into this without experience representation. Oh man, this is the biggest fight that you can make in boxing. Once again, this is a die-hard matchup. Terrence Crawford, outside of Omaha, Nebraska, well, really, he's a non-entity. Guys, let's just face it. Outside of the boxing die-hard community, does anyone even understand or know what a badass Terrence Crawford is? Nope. Okay, it's a different universe, guys. Okay, the diehard boxing community bubble was a very small community compared to the entire sports market in America. Guys, boxing, this is proof positive. Boxing has become a fringe pastime in the American market. Now, keep in mind, they don't have to compete with the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to compete with the NBA. They're competing with the MLB. And they've got games all week long. Where's the competition? There is none. There is none. So why didn't any mainstream media outlets show up to these media workouts? Media workouts, James. That's the operative word.
Yep.
Where was the mainstream media? Now think about all the mainstream media outlets that customarily cover these events. You've been to these big fights. Name them. Rattle them off. Why weren't they there?
Yeah. And you have a major network, supposed what they call a 4-letter network. Was anybody from them out there?
No. ESPN, they weren't even there covering the media workout.
No.
Guys, this is alarming. The house is on fire.
Yeah.
And once again, Stephen Espinosa has every reason to be concerned at this point.
Concerned, that's right. And going off of what one person said on Twitter earlier, that a follower said, hey, he said it straight up. He said, y'all better buy this pay-per-view, boxing fans. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what y'all wanted. Now you got what you wished for. It's time to show your support.
That's it.
Put up or shut up. Let's go.
That's it. And guys, before we move forward, let's say hello to our dear friends in the chat. Once again, my brother G Funky Boxing. Thank you for always being here, brother. And thank you for being a co-host and a member of the WAWR Week Radio Extended family. Guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to one of the best boxing voices within the boxing community on YouTube. And that's my brother, the incomparable G Funky Boxing. God bless you, my friend. Love you, my friend. Also, Addictive J. He says, caught you live finally. It's been kind of humbling to ask people about this fight, and they not know. It's really a die-hard fight. Excited nonetheless, as you should be. And this is it, guys. This is geared towards the die-hard boxing community. And this is going to tell us whether or not you guys are genuinely the real bosses of boxing. That's the way you guys always were regarded in the past. But since the advent of the internet, piracy has been a huge problem. And it affects everything within the business of boxing. This is your fight, guys. There's no excuse. Purchase this damn event. And if you can't afford it personally, come out and see it at Dave & Buster's. Guys, if you're in the South Texas area, I'll be hosting a official fight party at the Dave & Buster's in San Antonio, Texas, on the intersection of 410 and I-10. I'm going to have all my fighters there. Okay, and I'm also going to have former super featherweight champion Jesse James Lehi in attendance. We're going to be actually providing commentary before the fight, in between rounds. Guys, you don't want to miss it. And here's the best part. It's only $10 cover to see Spence versus Crawford. Come out and say hi, guys. There's no excuse. Come out and support this fight financially, right? $10, James. What is that? What is $10 nowadays?
Man, you can't even get any type of decent meal for $10 these days.
That's what I'm saying. Come out, guys. There's no excuse. This is the fight that you guys have been clamoring for. And if you guys don't show up for this, then you might as well turn in relinquish your diehard boxing membership cards. You have no voice any further. Moving on, we want to welcome Low Clarity to the show. Bing! Thank you for supporting the show, my friend. We appreciate you being here. Also, my brother Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz and more. Salute. Joe and James, salute to you, my friend. And guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to my brother Bruce. We want to welcome our brother LLOHS. I just joined, but can I say my popular opinion about this fight? Well, the floor is yours, my friend. We'll see. Go ahead and so once again, this is just tonight. Huh?
I think he posted.
Oh, did he post it? All right. Well, let me go look for that. Just 1 second, because there are several. Oh, okay. Garcia versus Ramos, terrible fight. The Spence Crawford fight.
Oh no! I think it's before that.
Okay. Well, let me go look. Hold on. I'm gonna go swimming. Nope. So post what you mean, my friend, because my apologies. We're not taking any additional voices on this program. My apologies, but yeah, it's just James and I tonight. Yeah. I'll have a WAWR Week Radio Chats tomorrow afternoon for you guys to air out your opinions, right?
Yeah.
Moving on. Listen to this. This is bullshit. Joseph, I need your help. I fired Bo-Mac and I need a new trainer. Will you be my new trainer? Chingao. You know what, dude? I will say this, and thank you for posting that, Terrence Crawford. This just sheds a light on a basic truth about the business of boxing. Once again, Bo-Mac is a great guy, okay? But there's a reason why Terrence Crawford is indeed the pound-for-pound king right now among most knowledgeable participants of this business. Because of Terrence Crawford, not because of Bo-Mac, right? So I could become trainer for Terrence Crawford, and guess what? He'll still be great. Like in the immortal words of Emmanuel Stewart. You know, Joseph, it's a trainer is only as strong as the horses that he jockeys. James, can you disagree with any of that?
No, I can't. That's a great way to put it.
There it is. And guys, this is why I can't stand, oh, this guy deserves trainer of the year. Oh, this guy deserves trainer of the year. Man, screw all that shit. They've got the best athletes and the best fighters, okay, at their disposal. How many of these guys cultivated these fighters from the amateurs up? I'll wait. No, I'll be here all day. So we're moving on. But guys, make no mistake about it. Most of these guys, yeah, it's because they had a gift of a superb athlete like Terrence Crawford walk into their gym. How many other fighters has Bo-Mac cultivated to the same level of Terrence Crawford? I'll wait. And there it is. Yeah. Bruce says, Joseph, if you were born 150 years ago, you would be in a medicine show. Holy shit. And you know what? I probably wouldn't be alive now because I'm already 55 years old if I were born 150 years ago. Yeah, and there you have it. My brother Khalid, salute y'all. Salute to you, my friend. And he says, Donaire is speaking facts. Donaire wanted to bang with Inoue and wanted to KO in both fights. He knows Fulton is a completely different fighter who can outbox Inoue. We'll see. We'll find out next Tuesday. Also, we want to welcome Peter Von Arts. Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you for always supporting the WAWR Week Radio. And Low Clarity says, cool that Donaire is on the card for Crawford Spence now. Now, once again, the Jesus Ramos card got scratched. And so, yeah, now Nonito Donaire versus what's his name? Alexander Santiago?
Yeah, Alejandro Santiago thing, yeah.
That's it. And so he's going to be featured in that slot. Congratulations nonetheless. Also, Peter Von Arts, cool that Pitbull is on the Crawford Spence card too. Yep. And he is going to uncork a serious ass whooping on Cabrera. James, do you see that fight going past 6-7 rounds?
Oh, the Giovanni Cabrera Pitbull Cruz?
Yep.
8 at the most, at the absolute most.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I really don't give. Just to be honest, I don't give Cabrera that much.
Oh, Chingao, hold on. Here we go.
Oh gosh.
Hold on. Why am I? Hold on. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, very good. My apologies, guys. Oh, Chingao. I don't know why I have these episodes. But Joey Chaz says, Joseph, there's no buzz for Bud versus Spence. Yeah. Oh, Chingate. All right. So, once again, yeah, why don't you just say more things that are obvious? And why don't you also give me a nice paper cut and put lemon juice on it? Yeah, thank you, Joey. Appreciate it, brother. So Khalid goes, yeah, Joseph, new job offer on the spot. You got to take it. You know what, brother? I love Bo-Mac. He's a great guy, Brian McIntyre. But yes, I could do just as good of a job training Terrence Crawford because it's all about Terrence Crawford. He is a phenom. He's a freak. He's an athletic specimen. Now, keep in mind, I love Brian McIntyre. I love Bo-Mac. He's a great guy. But once again, you will never see him cultivating and nurturing another fighter to the level of Terrence Crawford for a reason. Right? And there. Tyrese Bowie, welcome to the show, sir. He says, 5 fans must be training and cutting weight. They're miserable also. James, do you have anything to add to that before we move on?
No, I do not.
Oh, boy. But he speaks the truth. Yeah, they sure are.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for Fact or Fiction.
Number 2 on Fact or Fiction. James, are you ready, sir?
Yes, I am.
Here we go. Errol Spence will be proven correct when he states there won't be a rematch with Bud Crawford, but not for the reasons that he believes. There won't be a rematch because it will prove to be a financial flop, losing millions, a mere 300,000 pay-per-view purchases. Fact or fiction?
Oh, I want it to be fiction. Now,
whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
So, what does your head tell you, and what does your heart tell you?
My head tells me that it will be a fact in that they won't have a rematch due to financial reasons. But
Yep.
I feel like it will be at least above that 300,000 pay-per-view buys that's listed.
You're hoping. You're hoping. Now keep in mind, looking at the pay-per-view landscape, right? When it's been a die-hard event exclusively, how well have these events performed on pay-per-view? Now, keep in mind the last number that we have to gauge. Okay, Benavidez, Caleb Plant, was exclusively a die-hard event. How well that do, brother?
Not that good. What was that, 125?
That's being nice. The number that I got was barely above 100,000. Okay? In my opinion, I'll be very surprised if Crawford Spence does better than Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence Jr. on Fox.
I'm gonna spit that. I'm gonna quote that. I need to post that. I want people to prove me wrong. I do. And the thing about it is that like over the past few weeks, I've seen people talk about this particular fight that's been outside of the boxing groups or the boxing circles and that type of thing. So that's another thing that's giving me hope is that I've seen people talk about it that don't usually talk about boxing like that. So I'm telling you, I will post that quote and I will share it. So I'll be like, hey, I'm calling y'all out. Prove me wrong. Buy this pay-per-view. Support this fight. Don't be like Terrence Crawford said, in that video last year. Talk about, man, I got a fire stick too. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
Well, look, I will say this also. Do you remember Terrence Crawford saying after the media press conferences, both of them, oh, we don't do much. We don't have to do much to sell this event. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Shit. Good Lord. Come on, brother. Come on. And guys, I'm going to pin this on all of you. Okay? Look, I'm doing my part. I'm trying to actually raise mainstream awareness locally here in the San Antonio area. I'm staging a big event at Dave & Buster's with all of our fighters involved, including fight legend Jesse James Leija, who went life or death with Azuma Nelson 3 times. Right? Hall of Famer Azuma Nelson. Okay? Let's just make no bones about it. That's how he made his reputation in this business. Okay? That's why he's a legend in San Antonio. Guys, I'm trying to make this a big event. Trying to get as many mainstream eyes to see Spence Crawford. Guys, you do the same. In the immortal words of Steven Espinosa, guys, you asked for this event. This is yours. This is on you. If this flops, this is on you. Guys, purchase this event. Either put up or shut up. This is your last stand. And if Jake Paul's on the cover of Sports Illustrated, you guys all should take offense to that. You guys all should take exception to that. Make it a mission of yours. Tell everybody about this fight. Show them what you know. You guys are experts. Tell them this is the fight that you guys should be dialed in to, right? Not UFC. No, this is boxing. Spence versus Crawford. Be interested and elaborate as to why they should be. They should want to purchase this fight. Tell them how historically significant this fight is, right? James, did I leave anything out?
Nope, you didn't.
Oh boy. You know what, James, as we're doing this show, I'm actually starting to get worried now. As if the media workouts weren't worrisome enough. Well, I want to give a big shout out to my brother, Tony Boswell. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Much respect to WAWR Week Radio and the chat. Stopped in to show support and to hit the like button. Yes, guys, please hit the like button. Thank you. I'll be there to watch part of boxing history. Yes, sir. And I'll be doing my part. I'll be emceeing the event live at Dave & Buster's in San Antonio, Texas, with the legend in the Alamo City, Jesse James Leija. Dude, that's going to be so much fun. Guys, please come and be a part of it. You don't want to miss this. James, Is there any more that I can do to help promote this event?
I mean, that, like, what you're doing there in San Antonio is, like, one of the rare things that, can happen, for, promoting this fight and fights in general. You're going to have Jesse James Lahad there in the building, to assist with commentary and all of that. So people in San Antonio, got to come through it and support. But then outside of that, people got to hit the bars or, buy the pay-per-view. Like I said earlier, like, this is it.
That's right. Guys, if you don't want to pay $80, support the local businesses who are showing this fight. And that's another thing that has me alarmed. The only major outlet that I know of in the city of San Antonio, the 7th largest city in America, is only Dave & Buster's.
Mm-hmm.
Look, otherwise, you have to go to a strip club, and I will never recommend that. Right? Because that's going to cost you more than $80, brother. That's going to cost you more than $80. Say goodbye to $300, $400, $500 in one night. Right? So Khalid has the beat, and I'm hoping he does. Nah, this fight will do more than 500,000. Many people are talking about it. And May fans, General Sports fans, and everyone where I'm at.
Yes.
James, you also reside in another huge metropolitan area, our nation's capital, D.C. What's the buzz there?
I think I saw something in reference to that fight on what was it, Instagram or something. I think they had like somebody talking about predictions for the fight. Yeah, this is on Premier Boxing's Instagram page, and they had someone talking about who win Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence. So they had people picking there in the Washington D.C. area. But like I said, I'm seeing people talking about it in groups that are just sports in general that don't really talk about boxing like that. So like I said, that gives me hope. But still, I'm a push for people to invest in this fight, watching this fight, because this is the welterweight fight. This isn't, this is, people talk about Mayweather Pacquiao, but of course we know that Mayweather Pacquiao happened when it happened pretty much like 3, 4, 5 years later than maybe it should have been. Here, this is when we get the two fighters that we know that has basically cleared out the whole entire welterweight division, that they're at the top of their games, and this is where they're pretty much like at their peak or closer to their peak. So this is what we've been waiting for, for a long time. And, like Tony Boswell said there, like we haven't had undisputed since Zab Judah, defeated
Corey Spinks. Big Corey Spinks.
Yep. In the 3-belt era. So here we have 4 belts on the line, all the major titles on the line, and this is support the event for the future of boxing. That's exactly right.
Look, guys, screw the belts, and no offense. And once again, Tony, we love you being here, brother, and thank you for bringing up that factoid, right? But think about this: Zab Judah versus Corey Spinks. Compare that to the magnitude of Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford. 2 pound-for-pound badasses squaring off. Guys, I can't imagine either guy losing. That's the allure. And here's the privilege. You guys know this. No one else does. Educate everyone around you. Promote this damn event. Like Steven Espinosa just told me. Hey, this is your event. You asked for it. Okay? Show them All Access. Because, James, I'm in agreement with you. In my opinion, All Access has been so great. In my opinion, it should win an Emmy. It's been so good. I'm hooked. Like, I was already enthralled. I was already engrossed. But you know what? After watching those 2 episodes, I'm hooked. I can't wait to see the conclusion of this. Guys, create that fire underneath everyone around you. The person you're standing next to in the grocery line, tell them about it. The person on social media, tell them about it. Not just the boxing groups that you guys belong to. Tell everyone about it, including your next door neighbor. Do your part, guys. The health of the sport, as we know it, depends on it. James, am I exaggerating at all?
No, you're not. And one that note, one of my coworkers did ask me about, what's coming up, and I told him, about it. So he kind of knows about it. Few people at work, know about it. So at least they're looking forward to it. It's just about who outside of that boxing, those that follow boxing to a certain extent, how much interest they will have in this particular fight. So there is that.
Oh boy. And I tell you what. No, this is terrible. Treetop, thank you for being here, brother. But yeah, he says, I'm more interested in Valdez versus Navarrete than this expired event. Boo! That's all I'm gonna say to that comment, right?
Yeah.
Once again, you guys have been asking for this for years, and you finally have it. Guys, do your part. Be the premium ambassador to this business, to this sport, to your favorite pastime. Do your part. Promote the damn event. And if you can't afford it, go to your local Dave & Buster's. They're only charging $10. Okay? Only charging $10. James, we're at the end of the road. We're 60 minutes in. Your parting shot, sir.
We talked about, what could be projected here for this fight between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Like I said, I'm hopeful. I'm not, like I said, I'm not, trying to be as nervous as Steven Espinosa is for this event. But it's like I said, this is a direct call out to all of these boxing fans that claim that they support this sport of boxing. This is it. This is where it goes. We ain't getting them, ABC, Wild World of Sports type instances where we could see the biggest fights for $0. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. That's long gone. This is as good as it gets. And if people are willing to, support like Canelo fights like that, depending on the magnitude of their fight, then you can support this fight. I want to see it have more than 500,000 pay-per-view buys. I really do. In that, it's going to be, one of the best fights out there, this year. So at one point we'll have a good little preview of the fight in general. But as far as like the overall support and the overall buzz, trust me, I will do my part in making sure that people know about this fight. And I will take that one of those quotes that Joseph said in reference to this fight in general. And that I'm going to see how many people are interested in this particular fight from a public standpoint, not just from a regular boxing fan standpoint. I'm talking about from a public standpoint. So there's that.
Oh boy. Well, I tell you what, with that said, James, love what you do, brother. And thank you for being a part of this program. Thank you for being a part of the channel. And once again, we'll see you on Tuesday when we reconvene with Real Boxing with Ronnie Shields next Tuesday, guys. And he's got a lot to talk about, so you don't want to miss that. But I will say this, James. The thing that's most alarming to me, the lack of mainstream media outlets that showed up for the media workouts. That tells me that this is going to flop big time. Guys, don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. Okay? This is all yours. This is the event that you've been clamoring for. Make this a stark success. Send the message to everybody that you guys still are the real bosses of boxing. Okay? Take this as seriously as someone making fun of your mother. Take offense to it. If someone doesn't know, educate them. I don't know how else to strongly advise you guys that the health of the sport depends on this event, right? If you don't purchase this event, well, get used to Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, a bullshit event with no consequence. And that's what you have to look forward to, because that's what people are buying. I don't know how else to put it. And there it is, guys, on behalf of J.R. Bell. And guys, before I leave you, please go bookmark theboxingsource.net for all the latest coverage, for all the latest news. And once again, James is going to be there in Vegas covering Spence Crawford, right? So we're going to speak with James on Tuesday with Ronnie Shields. Guys, on behalf of J.R. Bell, I'm Joseph Aaron. You've been listening to WAWR Week Radio. Bye, Spence Crawford, damn it.
FightSaga.com and Halftime Pizza proudly present WAWR Week Radio Chats with ring announcer and commentator